Chris, one of the things that really interests me is those trade funds have historically been kind of driven by a really, really old rule called Robinson-Patman, which basically says
Yep.
the allocation of trade funds has to be fair and equitable. I saw you smile, so it sounds like you're familiar with it. But one of those challenges with everything being, kind of allocated in that fair and equitable way is we couldn't divert funds to where we were going to get the best return on different products, et cetera. And what I think is really changing with the growth in retail media, as an example,
Yes.
is those
That's
dollars
nuts.
can become far more fungible, right?
Yep.
And so we've actually, it's again back to the kind of secret weapon. We've actually built 3 of the 5 largest retail media networks in the world.
No
And
way.
so through that work, we're able to help our clients create better, more personalized audiences that they can then sell with their supplier partners and ultimately create a better ROI for their supplier partners. And so when you look at creating value, that's another great way for a retailer to create incremental value for their shoppers, is by getting more of those supplier funds to fund highly relevant, highly personalized experiences.
Yeah, and I was going to go in the omni-channel angle on this too, but I know Anne's got a question she wants to ask you about retail media
No,
first. So go
that was
ahead,
actually
Ann.
the question I was going into, is like, how, have you seen more of the retailers that you're working with kind of jump on board or make investments in this area with you that they didn't before, because of the value of, what they're getting from it from a pricing and promotion standpoint to begin with, but then also as they're building their retail media networks?
Yeah, I mean, look, if you look at retail, and you know this from your own career, Ann, right? It's inherently a very low margin business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your most retailers kind of operate in single digit margin
Right.
range, and the revenue that can be generated from a retail media network is typically 70 to 80% margin for these retailers. And so, if you look at the P&L for some of the retailers that are very early in the game around retail media network, they're generating billions of dollars of revenue off their retail media network. And if that's at 70 to 80% margin, if you look at that as a share of their EBITDA as a company, it's getting well into the double digits, and it's a huge profit driver for them, of course. But on the flip side of that, not only is it a great profit driver for them, it's a great way to offer incremental value to their customers. And so what we're really seeing is retail media networks are kind of in a bit of an arms race as we think about it,
Yeah.
where they're
We
focused, in our opinion, on really 3 levers that can help them win a disproportionate share of those supplier dollars to be able to deploy to create value for their customers. They're very focused on creating more inventory, right? By having more of our customers be addressable, that creates more inventory. By having more places we can put personalized content, that creates more inventory for us. And so the more inventory we can create, the more we can ultimately, kind of monetize, and the more value we can create. We talked about, customer intelligence and better understanding our customers. If we can offer our suppliers a better understanding of their target customers, that then creates a reason for them to want to spend more with our retail media network. And so if we can move from just the old fashioned way of looking and selling audiences of, I want people who didn't buy Coke but bought Pepsi, to actually go even more deeper and say, I want people that didn't buy Coke but bought Pepsi and have shown a willingness to try new products and are price sensitive and are this demographic, et cetera. And we can get very, very specific about that. And by getting very, very specific about that, the ROI on our investments goes through the roof.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No.